Alright everybody, today we are looking at an ear pad installation for the HyperX Cloud 2 wireless headphones. So the first thing you want to look at before we start removing and installing ear pads is the actual how it's installed. So we have a skirting on the back of the ear pad here. That skirting is going to slot into the side of the headphone right here, and then it just hugs onto it like that once you have it all in place. So that is easy enough. The second part of these headphones is that they actually have a built-in hair screen or gasket, whatever you want to call it, and these have a little bit of adhesive tape that hold them down in place inside of the earphone. These are easily removable as well. You just peel them back like that, and then there's a little piece of adhesive tape right about there and right about there on each earphone, but we'll get into that later. Okay, so first things first is removing the ear pads. This is nice and easy. All you're going to do is take your two fingers and your thumb, grab onto the ear pad and just peel away like that. There we go. And we'll do that to the other one. Peel away. There you go. Now looking at the ear pad itself, there is no left or right. There's also no stitching on the top of the bottom to tell you where the bottom is. Normally, or not normally, but sometimes some ear pads from HyperX will have stitching on the bottom, then you know that it goes down. In this case, you don't. So left, right, up, down, etc. As long as you're installing the ear pads like this, it's correct. Right, the second step here is going to be these hair screens on the inside. This is one of the only HyperX headphones that has a hair screen that's built into the inside here that you can replace. So how you're going to do this is just peel from the top. You're going to use your fingernails and your fingers just to crawl that back a bit until you can get a hold of it, the edge. And then you can see here, you have your speaker there, so you don't want to get anything in there. And you have your little bit of tape up here that's holding it in place. Let's pull on that. Ooh. I'm using my fingernail to scrape this off, but you can see how small that was. Right, and then it goes around the other side, and then you have the same thing over here. One more little piece of tape right there. Right, so you would take both of those out as well. Okay, so we're going to start with the hair screens. Now I'm just using the original parts today, so obviously you've seen me take this off and the tape is a little bit messed up, but it's going to go on no problem. So it's nice and easy. All you're going to do is line this up. I would line it up. So for example, when you get the new hair screens, you'll most likely have some little adhesive tape on here, and you'll peel away the plastic top layer of that to reveal the sticky part. So once you do that, you want to, I'm going to go with this corner here first, line that up there. I know that's where the tape went, and the rest kind of falls in place. You can adjust it. Let's do that. It basically just fits straight in like so, and all you need to do is wherever that tape is, which I know it's right here and right here, I'm just going to push down on those spots so that it's in place. That is roughly good. You might need to move it around or adjust it a bit, but that's about right. So that's how you do the scrim. It's nice and easy. Or sorry, the hair screen. So. On to the ear pads. So looking at the ear pad here, obviously I'm using the original ear pads, so these already have an edge on them, but this edge is what's important because you need to have, if you get new ear pads, you're most likely going to have a very flat edge like this because they're new. These ones have been on the headphones for a while, so obviously they have a shape to them. It's going to be easier to install ear pads with an edge. So that's why we're going to create an edge. So we're just going to flop that over here a couple times. We're going to stretch out this skirting on the back by pulling it just with medium force. We're going to pull it across as well, give us that extra bit of stretch so that when we go to install it, it'll go in easier. We're going to start at the top, and the reason why that is because the headband's in the way, and basically what we want to do is we want to finish installing the ear pad when it's at its hardest to install the ear pad, when there's nothing in the way. So if we start at the top here, by the time we get to finishing, it's going to be somewhere around here or here, and there's nothing in the way for our hand to be maneuvering it. So I'm going to start with an edge at the top here, and then I'm going to make sure I get as much as I can in there. Ooh, let's go with the edge here. Right. Okay, so I now have the top in place. I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to take my finger, I'm going to go underneath, and I'm just looking to go underneath that skirting here. And I'm just going to push up and keep pushing up, and you just see how it just falls into place. Like so. Right? Then all you need to do is just check that slot to make sure that all the skirting's in. If it's sticking out, you can use your fingernail and just run it through like that a couple times, and it will push it down and in place. The last thing you want to do is just try and align it so that it's the same shape as the headphone. So obviously this is pretty good, whereas like that would not be. So put that back. There we go. On to number 2. I extend the headphone just to give me a little bit of further space away from the headband. So let's stretch this over first, create that lip, and let's also stretch the ear pad out along it, and then also across like that. Right. Second one is just like so. There we go. That one's done too. And that's pretty good, I would say. There you go. All done and dusted. If you have any questions, drop a message down below.